Train accident. Lagos State declares 3 days mourning for victims.
We want to encourage the public who wishes to donate blood to comfort.
Court of Appeal reserves judgment on suit seeking disqualification of the nomination of President-elect and Vice. Plus, troops nab perpetrators of electoral violence in the February 25th elections in some states.
Feedback revealed that the airstrike dealt with the terrorists, as several terrorists were neutralized with their logistics destroyed.
Hello, this is NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja. I am Jumma Yusuf. Reading with me is Hingino John Adams from Lagos. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has declared 3 days mourning to commiserate with families of civil servants who died in a train accident early hours of Thursday. The governor made the pronouncement after paying a visit to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital to ascertain the health condition of the train accident survivors in Ikeja, Lagos. Musa Toliet has the details.
The civil service was thrown into mourning mood in the early hours of the day after the news of a train collision with one of the staff buses led to the death of 6 personnel of the state workforce. Before the arrival of the emergency responders, residents made efforts to rescue the injured from the wreckage of the bus.
I think the BRT driver was unaware that the train was coming.
Some of us came down here to start carrying the passengers that are injured from the BRT.
All the casualties has been moved to the last seat where they are receiving adequate treatment.
In a bid to ensure that the injured receive adequate medical attention, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visited the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. There, he received a brief that 85 passengers were on board the ill-fated staff bus. 42 sustained moderate injuries, 29 with serious injuries, while 8 passengers suffered mild injuries. Sadly, 6 deaths were recorded.
We also want to encourage the public who wishes to donate blood to comfort. And because the blood bank that we have, you could see that they've responded immediately very, very well.
Apart from the directive that flags be flown at half-mast, the governor declared a 3-day mourning period.
I will also be suspending my campaign for the next 3 days. There will not be any form of public engagement or any form of campaigning during this period, so that we also can join a family in the morning.
The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency has since evacuated the ill-fated bus from the scene of the accident. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sympathized with victims of the train accident involving a train and a bus in the Ikeja area of Lagos State this Thursday. In a statement by Tunde Rahman of his media office, Tinubu said his thoughts are with the victims' families and with the Lagos State government, even as he continues to follow the emergency response efforts closely and offer support where necessary to ensure that survivors and others involved receive the best care. Meanwhile, following the fatal crash that involved a moving train and the Lagos State staff bus at PW Railway crossing along Agege Motor Road, Lagos, this Thursday, the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibiu, has expressed his heartfelt sympathy for the victims. A statement by BC Kazim, Assistant Corps Marshal Public Education Officer, Federal Road Safety Corps, says the Corps Marshal admonished relevant authorities to construct level crossing railway gates to enhance safety in train operations across the country, while also calling on traders to avoid the unwholesome practice of displaying wares around and on rail tracks. He also cautioned all categories of road users to desist from undue interference with rail tracks, whether or not the rails are being engaged by trains. The Corps Marshal commiserated with the families of the dead and also wished the injured quick recovery and the families of the deceased the fortitude to bear the losses. He commended the FRSC team and also first responders like Nigeria Police, LASEMA, LASMA for prompt rescue of the victims and promised that the crash will be investigated. Now, The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in a suit seeking the disqualification of the nomination of the President-elect and the Vice President-elect. The court gave the order after the adoption of the final written addresses by the parties in the suit. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
The parties in this matter are the People's Democratic Party as appellant, while Independent National Electoral Commission, All Progressives Congress, the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima are respondents. The bone of contention here is the purported nomination of the Vice President-elect more than once. The PDP at the trial court, relying on Section 35 of the Electoral Act 2022, averred that the Vice President-elect was nominated twice against the law. The trial court, in its verdict, dismissed the suit, averring that nomination of candidate is an internal party affairs that robbed the court of jurisdiction. The court also ruled that the PDP lacked the right to institute the matter in line with Section 84, subsection 14. This was the matter that the PDP as an appellant brought before the Court of Appeal for determination. After the adumbrations of parties in the matter, the court reserved judgment in the suit. The appellate court also adjudicated on other matters involving Labour Party and others. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Buhari Media Organization has applauded the position of the Nigeria Bar Association (NBA) on the 2023 presidential election as a significant and credible assessment of the electoral process that should not be ignored. A statement signed by its chairman Ni Akinsiju and Secretary Cassidy Maduke, BMO said it is a credit to the Buhari administration, adding that the NBA's interim report on the election revealed that about a quarter of the electorate were excellently impressed with the elections, 27.1%, while majority of the voters, 64.6%, were somewhat dissatisfied. Therefore, only 8.2% rated the conduct poor or very poor. The group, however, added that NBA did not lose sight of technical issues around the election and called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure that all glitches in the beavers, machines and other areas of technology are fixed before the governorship and state houses of assembly elections. The group says it sees the report as one that speaks directly to the improvement that President Buhari pledged to bring to the electoral process, therefore appealing to Nigerians to note that if an overwhelming majority of the voting population rate the election high, then it means that the Buhari legacy of electoral reforms is on track. The group is convinced that President Buhari would go down in history as one Nigerian leader who institutionalized the country's most effective electoral reforms. Muhammadu Buhari or Shibajo Dynamic Support Group, a political support group, has appealed to the opposition political parties not to see the 2023 presidential election as the last to be conducted in Nigeria. The group advised those aggrieved with the outcome of the elections to follow the rule of law and allow peaceful electoral atmosphere for the conduct of other elections. Saliu Gwanara reports.
The group acknowledged the dynamics of Nigerian electoral process since the inception of the current Fourth Republic as an evolution towards building an everlasting democracy. Plans by the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to form a government of national unity and sustain the gains of the current administration through the renewed hope agenda, the group added, means there are better days ahead.
Judging from the acceptance speech of the President-elect, opposition are supposed to see an all-inclusive governance underway and they stand prepared to join the monumental political process championed by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is poised to build on the developmental stride of President Muhammadu Buhari years in the office.
Meanwhile, the Presidential Campaign Council headquarters of the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu continue to play host to supporters of the party who are hopeful that with Tinubu after President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure in May 29, Nigeria will remain steady in all-round development.
Nigeria is for all of us. Our principal has already called on them to come so that they will join hands and move Nigeria forward.
Asiwaju means in Yoruba land somebody who is leading, and Almighty Allah has made him to always be in the forefront, leading.
They call on their supporters to give the party more support during the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is urging the people of Kano to bury their differences and return the governing APC to power for enhanced socio-economic development of the state, describing the party's governorship candidate Nasir Gawuna as a dependable ally. This was when he granted audience to the candidate, who is the deputy governor of Kano State, at his Daura residence. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
It was a very warm welcome for the APC governorship candidate for Kano and the state deputy governor Nasir Yusuf Gawuna. Mr. Gawuna congratulated President Buhari for his leadership, guidance and support that led to the governing party's candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu winning the just concluded presidential election to sustain his administration's worthy legacies for a sustainable future of the country. Discussions also centered on the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections, with the president acknowledging the capacity, capability and doggedness of Mr. Gawuna, stressing the need for the people of Kano to trust him with their mandate.
And he advised me make sure that I remain focused and make sure that the elections in Kano are peaceful.
The APC candidate speaks on the ongoing electioneering campaign and his chances of winning.
The campaign is going very well. My chances of winning, that I have always said, is in the hands of God. I have nothing in mind but the people of Kano, development and the future of our youth and women, which is paramount. Inshallah, if I'm destined to be the next governor of Kano State, I will be sincere to my people. I will have an open government.
Mr. Nasir Yusuf Gawuna has been the deputy governor of Kano State since 2018. Governor Ozodima also was at the Daura residence of President Muhammadu Buhari to rejoice with him for not only ensuring the conduct of the most peaceful, transparent and credible elections in Nigeria as promised, but also getting a worthy successor in office from the governing APC. And still basking in the euphoria of Tinubu's victory, President Muhammadu Buhari and the governor expressed optimism that the president-elect has the capacity, courage and commitment to take Nigeria to greater heights.
We are also very happy because victory is sweet. And indeed, I'm happy that Nigerians once more have shown a very serious sign of confidence in our great party and in the ability of our presidential candidate to rule Nigeria. With all the developmental strides Mr. President has achieved, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is going to improve on that and also develop Nigeria, unite Nigeria, secure Nigeria, and create prosperity like you must have heard. The mantra is renewed hope. And you know my name is Hope. So once you have hope in God, it means you've gotten everything on earth. I listened to the President-elect welcoming his other contestants to come and work with him to develop Nigeria. That's the spirit of democracy.
Let's pause for some messages. We'll be right back. Do stay. You're welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed sympathy over the accident involving a train and Lagos State BRT bus Thursday in Shongole area of Ikeja. In a reaction to the incident, President Buhari said the accident at the level crossing involving the train and the BRT staff bus is distressing and extremely sad. He said, and I quote, "I pray for the souls of the deceased and quick recovery of many who were injured." The president commended the Lagos State authorities and federal government agencies for promptly getting involved in the relief work. Now, the camp of the president-elect says its attention has been drawn to an attempt by one Leod Uko, a United States-based Nigerian claiming to be the executive director of the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, to organize a press conference specifically intended to disparage and cast aspersions on the credibility of the 2023 presidential election won by the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In a statement, the special advisor to the president-elect, Dele Alake, described Eliud Uku as an impostor who is hell-bent on hoodwinking unsuspecting Nigerians in the diaspora and the international community on a sinister agenda allegedly on behalf of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who came third in the last presidential election. Daily Alake says Mr. Uko's attempt to fraudulently exploit the Nadeko platform for Peter Obi against Tinubu is a grave insult to the sensibilities of Nigerians who witnessed firsthand the struggle by the pro-democracy group in restoring democratic rule to Nigeria and the roles played by prominent Nigerians, including independence hero and nationalist. The spokesperson of the president-elect said the attempt by Mr. Uko to use the Nadeko name to deceive the international media and interest groups is an act that should be condemned by right-thinking people. Alake added in the statement the majority of Nigerians have spoken by voting Tinubu in the just concluded election. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress says the decision of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to postpone the governorship and state houses of assembly elections from 11th March 2023 to Saturday 18th March 2023 is a wise one. The APC, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka, enjoined INEC to use the opportunity presented by the election postponement to address any hitches identified in the presidential election in order to avoid a recurrence in the March 18 election. The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the statement added, emerged as the choice of Nigerians in the presidential election, which was free and fair in compliance with the Electoral Act and INEC guidelines for the 2023 general elections. The APC therefore urged its supporters and Nigerians to double down on their support for the party and its candidate in the upcoming gubernatorial and state assembly elections. Let's now join Hingino in Lagos for more on NTA Network News. Hello, Hingino.
Thank you, Jumai. The scenario which led to the arrest of a two-man syndicate specializing in the cloning of customs clearing documents for vehicles is driving conversation around engaging in thorough checks to determine the genuineness of vehicle documents before purchasing. Acting Controller of the unit, Hussein Ejibunu, while sounding the note of warning, said 600 vehicles were on the roll call of the suspects for fake documentation before they were apprehended. Michael Olale reports.
Another busy day in Lagos with long queues of vehicles caught in traffic. But behind the aesthetics of the exterior parts of these cars is a vital question of how genuine is their documentation. In fact, some car owners lack the knowledge to determine the authenticity of their papers. This was the case with one Shuaibu Kolu, who was arrested along Ajilete Diroko Road in Ogun State with a 2007 Mercedes-Benz discovered to be cleared with fake customs papers. Information supplied by him led to the arrest of these two men, whose task is to give a clean bill to any car prepared to be smuggled from Benin Republic to Nigeria.
They will smuggle those vehicles using unapproved routes. Then when it is brought in, they will now come and give it a legal backing by generating documents. When they generate these documents now, unsuspecting buyer now will now go and buy this. And when customs says, oh, this is fake documents, oh, you now say, should I paid.
The customs said a similar drama played out in Owoyele Bugila Road in Ogun State as two smugglers in a Mazda vehicle laden with bags of foreign rice attacked its officers using charmed horse whip.
I've already taken remand order from court to give me the authority to remand them until when charges will be preferred against them.
One of the smugglers is recovering from injuries sustained through customs reprisal, while the second said he made 2,500 naira from his first smuggling venture.
As I carry it, I gain 2,500 on it.
Apart from the major seizure of rice, which is in the region of 9 trailers, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A is addressing the issue of false declaration. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
What is the best gift that the society can offer a woman? A tricky question there. But the theme for the celebration of 2023 International Women's Day, Embrace Equity Through Innovation and Technology, offers a clue to the question. Adenita reports that in anticipation of a more equitable space, women are looking at building capacity in innovation and technology.
The blue skies, she was a king and a warrior defending the integrity of a nation. Like late Dora Akunyili, Nigeria's former health minister, late Tolulope Arotile earned a wing and soared high among men, a short life consolidating the fact that women have what it takes to be the force for positive change. For these women who draw inspiration from late and living examples among their folks, their journey to emancipate the female folk and harness their potential is barely anymore about promised affirmative action, but more about getting deserved and equitable recognition from the society.
Best gift the society can offer women, I think, is giving them wings to fly, to express themselves.
Why would they ask men ask us what more? How many senators do we have? That we have only 3 women in the Senate as at yesterday.
Once their skills are established, encourage them to get to the top, not to let them feel complexed.
Although the theme for the 2023 International Women's Day celebration, which is projecting equity through innovation and technology, may have a global outlook, it is the new compass for Nigerian women, particularly in their bid to enforce a shift from a mindset that seeks favor to one that really earns positions.
We do need more female who have achieved in that area to speak out, to showcase themselves. Because when the young ladies see that there's a woman who heads an IT company, it encourages them.
We encourage the women to look for relevant information that will enhance productivity.
Ahead of the expected recognition, the message is for them to continue building their capacity. This, they say, will put the society in a strong position to harness the rich potential of women for sustainable growth. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time now for a break. The news will be back shortly.
You're welcome back. Some criminals attempting to disrupt the February 25th presidential elections in parts of Borno and Kogi states have been arrested, while others were eliminated during an airstrike. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was announced at the defense headquarters in Abuja.
It's another defense media operations briefing for updates on ongoing armed forces operations across the country, with emphasis on military operations between 23rd February and 9th March 2023. Top is the rescue of 63 kidnapped victims and arrest of 8 political thugs with weapons attempting to disrupt the just concluded presidential election.
On 24th February 2023, intelligence reports revealed terrorists converging with plans to attack some locations in Kawa, Gambaru, and Mongunu in Borno State in a bid to disrupt the 2023 general election. Series of air interdiction operations were carried out at the identified locations. Feedback revealed that the airstrike dealt with the terrorists, as several terrorists were neutralized with their logistics destroyed. Troops on patrol at Ike town in a Kenny local government area of Kogi State on 25th February 2023 arrested 8 suspected political thugs in an attempting to disrupt the electoral process. Troops recovered 3 pump-action guns, 2 locally fabricated AK-47 rifles, 6 locally made assorted guns.
Similarly, the defense headquarters has attributed the drastic reduction in kidnapping for ransom to the current cashless policy.
Cash squeeze has equally contributed. When you collect, if you cannot pull and ask for ransom, the mode of payment is usually cash. You are going to pay through electronic transfer. You can easily be monitored.
In the period under review, several criminal camps were destroyed and arms recovered. From the defense headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still talking security matters, troops of 13th Brigade Nigerian Army Calabar have rescued the Commissioner for Women Affairs in Cross River State, Gertrude Nja, who was abducted on her way home on February 1st, 2023. In a statement, Assistant Director Army Public Relations Captain Dorcas Oluwatope Aloko says, acting on intelligence report, troops ambushed the abductors around Peter Effiong Creek in Mesembe, Jebs. The victim is, however, stable in a hospital facility, while the troops urged credible information from the public to track the criminals who are on the run. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NSENI, to commence local production of military hardware to address emerging security challenges. The Chief Executive of NSENI, Professor Muhammad Haruna, stated this while on a working visit to the Nigerian Army headquarters in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Is conducting internal security operations in virtually all states of the Federation, exerting pressure on the available equipment. With this brief symbolic ceremony, NSENI has sealed partnership with the Nigerian Army to pave way for the local production of military hardware to upscale the fight against insecurity.
Sometimes when you have them, you have to get them from other places. Even when you have the money, the processes, like you know, of getting them is very long.
The mandate, in line with the presidential directive, is to also enhance the nation's local content policy to reduce capital freight and make military hardware locally available.
Accordingly, NSENI is collaborating with some indigenous industries, some foreign original equipment manufacturers, with a view to domesticating weapons and equipment production in Nigeria through infrastructural development and transfer of technology.
NSENI is currently championing the nation's research and development for the manufacturing of unmanned aerial vehicle and armored personnel carrier to further enhance ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast.
We are not commencing. We are doing certain things already. But now it has presidential order and institutional framework to see that this is well coordinated and presented. The Nigerian Army has seen what we have produced for them before, tested, assessed, and commented.
The agency recently signed similar MOU with the Nigerian Navy and the Air Force in Abuja. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed says the United Nations will continue its support to the Ogoni cleanup exercise in Nigeria. At a bilateral engagement with Minister of Environment Muhammad Abdullahi on the sidelines of the United Nations Conference for Least Developed Countries in Doha, Qatar, the UN Deputy Scribe notes that although the United Nations Environmental Programme contract with the government of Nigeria expires by December 2023, the UN Office for Project Services will take over supervision and technical support to the Ogoni cleanup project. This, she says, is to ensure continuity and sustainability of the program. The UN also promises to assist Nigeria and Africa to mainstream climate change priorities within the framework of sustainable financing. Yobe State Governor Memala Buni has flagged off the construction of the multi-million naira 34-kilometer Danchua-Jajere road that connects 3 local government areas of the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports that when completed, the road is expected to unlock the economic potentials abound in communities along the corridor.
For the last 3 decades, the 34-kilometer Danchua-Jajere road that connects communities in Potoskum, Fune, and Nangere local government areas of Yobe State has been a nightmare to people along the corridor due to its deplorable condition.
Motorists ply the road with stress all year round due to potholes, edge depression, and gullies, further compounded by seasonal flooding taking a toll on the transportation system during the rainy season, causing delays and havoc on the road, making travelers to waste more than 3 hours on a distance of 34 kilometers.
The flagging off the construction of this strategic road by Governor Mai Mala Buni is a dream come true to the benefiting communities after years of suffering.
The road, when completed, will unveil and harness rich agricultural, livestock and other potentials that abound in this area and as well improve socio-economic life in these communities.
The construction of Danchua-Jajero Road, with a total contract sum of more than 5.3 billion naira, is expected to be completed in the next 18 months. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, more news. Do stay. Thanks for joining us. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has promised to clear all the backlogs of salary and pension arrears in the state. Governor Adeleke made the promise while presenting bond certificates worth 632 million naira to 119 retirees under the contributory pension scheme in Osogbo. Femi Afaragon has the details.
Oil on the face of Mrs. Grace Ogundiro, who retired from Osun State Hospital Management Board in the year 2018, as her prayers for years to reap the fruit of her labor has come to pass. She and 118 other retirees cutting across Osun State Civil Service, parastatals and tertiary institutions were given bond certificates of over 632 million naira by Governor Adeleke.
God has helped my Honorable Governor Adeleke to put my name among those people that I will not be begging for bread from other people. I'm very happy.
They drove our children out of the school. Today we are happy. We are back to life. We are regenerated.
Since assumption of office in November last year, Governor Adeleke claimed 1.5 billion naira has been released for state and local government retired workers. The governor, who believes the ultimate goal of any government should be welfare, assured the retirees and workers that the backlogs of salary and pension arrears will soon be cleared.
My commitment to addressing this inherited debt is a fact. Let me make it clear. I am not doing any favor. I am only fulfilling the task you've ordered me to do.
This event has rekindled the hope of many retirees in the state that soon it will soon be their turn to receive their entitlement from the state government. In Osogbo, Femi Afario, NTA News.
For some business news now, the economic experts at the ongoing World Economic Forum in Davos are of the view that there is a global digital skills shortage that could mean 85 million jobs are unfilled by 2030. They suggest every business in every sector should have a long-term strategy for developing digital skills with focus on diverse skills, offering training on different channels and customizing the approach to suit different sectors.
Basically making the enterprise and the society way more efficient and more inclusive.
At Illumina, for example, we make the machines that do genomic sequencing. So you put in blood or saliva or plant material, and we'll tell you the DNA or the RNA in that sample.
So we'd always talked about how we can help to grow, how can we help to automate, but now every enterprise is also asking, help me to create this green ledger, help me how I get more visibility about scope.
And market gains won 12 billion naira as stocks appreciate by 0.4% at the end of today's trading session. A total of 311.4 million shares in 3,627 deals corresponding to a market value of 309 billion were traded compared with the previous trading day Wednesday. Today's data shows 104% improvement in volume, 13% decline in turnover, but 10% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 30.4 trillion naira. Transcorp Nigeria recorded the highest volume of 180 million traded shares, followed by Guarantee Trust holding 41.4 million and Zenith Bank 18.5 million. Well, moving on, the Supreme Court earlier in the week ruled for the old Naira notes to remain legal tender till December 2023. Amina Baba Suleiman now brings us a collection of reactions from across the country on Nigeria's disposition towards it, particularly for social and business transactions.
Bakar reports that while banks have commenced the payment of the old notes over the counter, traders are rejecting them. The situation is similar in Kogi, Abia and Jigawa and some other states.
Yesterday I collected the 5,000 after 2 hours in the bank. Nobody is collecting the 5,000 from me.
I'm scared. Maybe if I come to the people selling things like in this market, I don't think they will collect.
Better that after the ruling of this court, more naira should be made available.
The new one, we couldn't get it, let alone having the old one.
Sometimes somebody will buy something, 200 naira, will say, bring your account number.
We not hear the president of Nigeria to tell us that to collect that all the money, 500 and 1,000 naira. That is the reason.
I'm so much confused whether to use the old cash or the new one.
I went to market to buy some things. They refused to collect the old money.
We did not see the old naira, we did not see the new one.
I'm not going to collect it for my bonds here.
I'm not collecting because if you give customers, they are rejecting it. Even where we are buying something, they say they don't want to collect it.
I would rather collect transfers than collect the old Naira notes.
Amaka Owo likewise moved around banks in Lagos to fill the purse of some customers.
Every blessed day, no money, no network.
I did there since, for Lawrence side, I did there since 7 o'clock yesterday. I left there by 3 o'clock yesterday. I didn't collect any kobo. It is good that there, elderly somebody like me, standing outside.
In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali reports that citizens are appealing for further government intervention to ease the situation.
In the bank, there is no money across the counter. Even the old ones, they are no longer available.
In Abuja, Amina Baba Suleiman, NTA News.
We now return to reactions on election postponement, and here is Ruth Aguele with a compilation from some states.
Pundit Ifeoluwa Omosule reports that mixed reactions trail the postponement in Ibadan.
I feel there's nothing bad about the postponement of the state election for a week because the INEC chairman gave reasons for that, and that reason is tenable. There's no conspiracy theory about it.
When the elections come, I just want Almighty God to take perfect control and the election to go in peace.
Olubukola Aduo reports that residents of Ado-Ekiti described the rescheduling of the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission as a step towards achieving a free and successful polls.
Canada, they want to configure the machine they are going to use for the election. For that singular reason, there is need for us to bear with them, because if the result is not good, we are going to complain.
In Aba, Benson Osadebe reports that the electorate say they are counting on INEC to take advantage of the extension of the governorship and state houses of assembly elections to get things right and meet the wishes of Nigerians.
1 week of a campaign, which is very expensive, but however, it is better they do it very well.
As Nigerians await the rescheduled date, it is hoped that the elections will be free and credible. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
Nigeria and Spain are synergizing on ways to bring to world attention the country's upcoming artists through the Vis-a-Vis project. This was known at a meeting between the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority and the Spanish government in Abuja. Oyinaya Kaluoka reports.
Music industry is said to be booming, just like a boom town. With several global recognitions, the industry generates more than $2 billion yearly and creates thousands of jobs. However, new artists are rising daily, with many of them struggling to survive. With the Vis-a-Vis project between the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority and the Spanish Public Diplomacy Institution, Casa Africa, global platform is now open to Nigerian upcoming artists to share their ideas and creations with organizations in the Spanish music industry.
This is an open door because neither the DG nor myself nor anyone is to close that door. The platform is there for anyone to upload the music.
Committed to promoting domestic tourism through the Tour Nigerian project, the Director General NTA, Folorin Shokoka, said tourism is now a business and the synergy between both countries will open new vistas for further promotion of social and cultural relations.
It's opening a door that is normally closed. It's incubating an ecosystem that allows them to quickly step up that ladder to what they call blowing in the music industry.
The competition is open to any interested upcoming Nigerian artists as registration is still on till the 14th of March. 12 Nigerian musical groups will have the opportunity to perform at a 2-day concert in Lagos, while 2 finalists will be chosen to perform at the 2023 Spring Summer Festivals in Spain. Oyinna Kalu Oka, NTA News.
Next is sports update.
Nigerian champions Rivers United recorded a convincing 3-1 win over Congolese side Motema Pembe in a rescheduled match day for a counter of the group stage of the CAF Confederation Cup at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Thursday. The win gives Rivers United a 2-point advantage on the Group B table, having garnered 9 points from 4 matches. Meanwhile, the Nigeria under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, on Thursday intensified training ahead of Friday's third-place match against Tunisia at the ongoing under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. Nigeria's bid to win a record 8th
to take something back to...
The third-place match between Nigeria and Tunisia is scheduled to kick off at 4 local time at the Cairo International Stadium on Friday, while the final match between Senegal and Gambia is billed for Saturday. In a related development, World Football Governing Body FIFA has given 10th April as deadline for the submission of the 50-man provisional squad list for the 2023 Under-20 World Cup for all participating countries. Nigeria, Senegal, Gambia and Tunisia are the 4 countries representing Africa at the tournament, which begins in May.
I think there is need for overseas-based players, which is also still going to be a challenge for him because these foreign clubs are not obliged by FIFA to release their players for this competition. But again, we will need some level of creativity in the midfield and in the attack.
And finally, Team Nigeria impressed at the just concluded Africa Track Cycling Championship in Cairo, Egypt, as they won a total of 10 medals, including 2 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze. 8 female cyclists comprising 6 elite and 2 juniors represented Nigeria at the event as they garnered more points to make qualification for the 2023 World Track Championship and the 2024 Paris Olympics. With sports update, Bade Adeleye, NTA News.
That's it on the news. Good night. I am Jumma Yusuf.